You are living the life game, not the money game.
Yeah.
And a lot of us lose scope of that.
When does it become the money game and not the life game? I thought it's the life game the day you're born. I think it's the players change the game. The game stays the same. It's the players change. And, it's kind of like a little map or a puzzle. Which way are you heading?
But don't you think we were born into the system that it's the money game?
Of course. I mean, and we are, we're children of immigrants
Right.
who fled countries a lot of times in very bad situations to become better and become more successful.
Right. Absolutely.
And this is the type of people they are, and God bless them for doing it because they allowed us to come into this great country.
Sure.
But that's what they want to instill in their kids too, right? This is how we were trained, and you can't blame them for it because that's the way their parents raised them. It takes a lot to be able to say, wait a second, is there another way to live? Is there something else that I should be doing? What is important to me and what makes me the happiest? You have to be able to stop your tracks, figure that out, and follow that direction.
I think for us, Desi, for my non-Pakistani Indian audience, Desi is a word we use to describe the certain region. We're different. If you look at the Caucasian population I come across, they're not as ambitious for money. They are more present many a times I see, and here have a beer, spend time together, watch the ball game type of mentality. Whereas us Southeast Asians, we are very, very focused on making a career, climbing social status, having our kids follow our footsteps. If kids have to marry a certain type of person, color, caste, in the Hindus, what am I right, or in your opinion, do you agree to that?
Yes, I do agree, but you have to understand the context. If you look at those cultures, there's no middle class. It's either you have it or you don't. And when you don't have it, it's really, really bad.
Yeah.
And so you have, individuals who this is all they see. And so they have this fear instilled in them that if they or their children are not with the haves, they're going to be in a really bad have-not situation. Whereas you come to a country like America and there's a bigger middle class. There's haves, there's have-nots, but there's also we're doing okay and we're making it work. And there's a sense of comfortability there. So I think if you're in a society where it's just one extreme to the other, then you're going to do what it takes to become on the haves, right? To be part of the haves and not the have-nots, because you know how bad it could. I mean, I remember going to India, and you've seen this. There's people that literally their job is to take your feces and replace it every day. I mean, this is their life and their kids do it, and this is what they know. And so if you are not ambitious, then there's a possibility that's going to be the rest of your life. And so if I was raised in that kind of society, I would do the same thing. You have to get out, and especially if you know what can be done, right? Someone who lives in India, who is working on the streets doing this kind of job, if they knew what can be done, if they just make a few changes, if they remove something that you told me, your limiting beliefs, you can get to the top of the world. A lot of times they have these limiting beliefs and they just don't know.